The Super Falcons of Nigeria now know their opponents for the Women's Africa Cup of Nations 2025 after the draws were held in Morocco on Friday. Also, Nigerian women's football shines bright on the African continent as most of our players, coaches and of course club were nominated for the CAF Awards 2024. This is the MTN Super Falcons show. Welcome to the MTN Super Falcons show, boys and girls, mamas and papas. My name is Osereme Inekbenebo and I will be your host on this jolly good ride. This is your one-stop shop for all things Super Falcons, both off and on the pitch. And of course, this beautiful show is proudly brought to you by the #1 telecommunications giant, MTN. Now, in case you're just joining us on the show, you haven't missed anything as we are just about to get into the mix of things. Now, Super Falcons captain Rasheedat Ajibade, who plays for Atletico Madrid Femenil of Spain and who of course has won Outstanding Player of the Month 2 times in a row, has been nominated for the CAF 2024 awards. Yep, you heard right. Alongside Paris FC goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnadozie. These two ladies, who have been impressive for both club and country, have been nominated, and there are no surprises there as their outstanding performance and of course contribution to how far we went in the Paris 2024 campaign is still fresh in our minds. But just before we shine the spotlight on these ladies and of course coaches and club that have been nominated at the CAF 2024 awards, we go on this really short break and we will be right back.
Culture says stand. Culture says be defiant. We're home of biodiversity and we've not even reached our plateau. Our natural beauties peak. From the rugged peaks of Jos Plateau to how our men are built. And the groundbreaking beauty of our women. We know how to make the belly feast. With ofensala and pounded yam. The fame and splendor of Abacha. The beginning. With two shinkafa wamala. MTN is bridging the gap to see Niger. The firewood jollof don't need plantain to make sense, just by the look. We're more than the River Niger and Benue. We're more united than the confluence with full ground. We're not Cyclops from X-Men, we see Niger. This is MTN Sight and Sound. And culture says be everywhere you go. This is how I see Niger. What do you see?
Welcome back. You're still locked onto the MTN Super Falcons show. Thank you for sticking with us. Now, as you know, today we're talking all about the nominees list from the CAF Awards 2024. We're shining the spotlight on the Super Falcons, not the Super Eagles. The Super Eagles doing great, yes, but we're shining the spotlight for the Super Falcons, and it is their show. Now, first up on the list for the nominee list of Women's Player of the Year award is Rasheedat Ajibade. Rasheedat Ajibade has been impressive for Atletico Madrid, scoring 10 goals and providing 6 assists in 30 games last season. And of course, she has already started in this season's campaign by scoring 5 goals and providing 2 assists in 8 matches. Of course, it's Rasheedat Ajibade. We expect nothing less. Now, moving over to Chiamaka Nnadozie, who has also been impressive between the sticks for both club and country. As you know, Chiamaka Nnadozie is the current holder of the CAF Awards 2023 title for the Goalkeeper of the Year, and she hopes to reclaim her crown, or rather, retain, not reclaim, because she currently holds it. So she hopes to retain that trophy. The duo are joined on the nominee list by Sandrine Niyonkuru of Burundi, Tabitha Chawinga and Temwa Chawinga of Malawi, Sana Msudi from Morocco, Jermaine Seoponsewe and Tembi Katlana of South Africa, Barbara Banda and Rachel Kundanji of Zambia. Please pardon me, I am not from these countries. Meanwhile, the Falconets duo of Chiamaka Okuchukwu and Flourish Sebastian are up for the Young Player of the Year award alongside 8 others. At club level, Edo Queens forward Essien and goalkeeper Monle Oyono have been nominated for the CAF Women's Interclub Player of the Year award. Essien and Oyono have both been instrumental to Edo Queen's success in the past year as they clinched the NWFL Premiership in the 2023-24 season and also sealed a historic spot in this year's CAF Women's Champions League. Edo Queens have also been nominated for the CAF Women's Club of the Year award alongside Tipe Manzembe, AS FAR, Mamelodi Sundowns, University of the Western Cape, CBE FC, FC Massa and Aids do la Medina. The Coach of the Year shortlist in the women's category includes 3 Nigerians: Nigeria Under-17 boss Bankole Olowokere, Falconets boss Chris Danjuma and Edo Queens coach Moses Aduku. Alongside 3 Nigerian teams, the Super Falcons, Falconets and Flamingos have all been nominated for the Women's National Team of the Year award, along with 7 other nations. The awards ceremony will be held on December 16th in Marrakesh, Morocco. Oof, that was that list quite tight, but of course we're wishing every Nigerian on that list the very best. Now, away from the awards, let's take a look at the 12 qualified teams that will be, well, 11 qualified teams that will be joining Nigeria, making 12 at the Morocco 2025 WAFCON. These are the teams, and of course the draws was held on Friday, so let's look at the groups.
Here's how it works. First, teams from Pot 3 are drawn to positions A4, B4 and C4. Next, teams from Pot 2 are drawn to positions A3, B3 and C3. Finally, teams from Pot 1 are assigned to positions A2, B2 and C2. With that, our groups are set and the excitement will begin. Let's start the draw.
Botswana.
Algeria now.
Tunisia.
As Mohammed V, the Mystical Stadium in Casablanca, and in the Zaoli Stadium, which was hosting some games.
Okay, there you have it. The journey to Morocco is well underway. It's next year, but I mean, everything has already begun. The ladies are giving it their all. They're rehearsing, they're practicing, they're getting ready to fire in between the sticks. And of course, we wish them the very best. And of course, we are here on the MTN Super Falcons show to bring you all of the updates, all of the information as it day hot. Now, speaking of updates and information, do you know that here in the studio on the show is not the only place you can get all of the information about the Super Falcons? You didn't know? Well, now you know. Connect with us across all social media platforms at MTN NG on Instagram and X, MTN Nigeria on Facebook and YouTube, and of course our very own pages across all social media platforms, the Super Falcons Show. We bring you up to speed, everything you need to know about the Super Falcons, from the CAF Awards to Morocco, everything you need to know. That's the much we can take for today in the studio and on the show. My name, of course, is Osereme in Negbenebo. And a friendly reminder not to forget that the Super Falcons of Nigeria take on Le Bleu of France on the 30th, which is this Saturday. So make sure you tune in and catch that game, which will be played in Angers. Remember, we've been talking about it, and now the day is almost here. Now, like I said, that's the much we can take for today on the show. Remember that this show airs 9 a.m. every Tuesday on NTA. And if you miss it, you can always catch it on MTN's Ayoba app.